Yes, Aidan O'Brien joins me now after saddling a quick-fire double, of course. I can see why you were worried about the ground. He switched leads a couple of times.
He did, Kevin, yeah, swapped and changed, but Ryan was very good on him. He kept reorganising him. Ray's in charge of this fella with Osmar. Rodney rides him out, and Dean rides him in all his work, so we're delighted with it, really. We were worried about the ground. We knew he'd improved a lot, but we were worried about the ground. But like, he kept swapping and changing, and Ryan kept letting him reorganise, but he said he won well on the line. He's a horse that's going to stay well. It was a good even pace. We weren't probably expecting the gallop to be as strong, so it probably taught him a lot and did search him, really.
He's quite idle too, isn't he? He's pricked his ears, he's come to the line.
He did, he's lazy, yeah. He probably babyish. He didn't get to do a lot of work last year, and really he's only done kind of proper work since he ran the last day, so he'd probably a lot to learn, and the pace was an even pace, so there was nowhere to hide out there, so no, it was good, and delighted that he won, really.
A big step up from a maiden into group company.
It is, yeah, absolutely. We had intended going to Goodwood with him next, and we knew he was going to have a run in between somewhere, and this was really the only race. Obviously he'd prefer to maybe go to a winner's race or a bit smaller, but this race suited him, and he's probably a fair horse, you know.
There's no doubt about it, and he's nearly pulled up at the boards. He nearly ran into the boards. That's always a good sign, isn't it?
He did, yeah. He got it very well. We thought he would. Ryan thought he was a 1.5 mile plus horse, and obviously his maiden was 1.25 miles, and this was 1.5 miles. So he was flat out really on 4 out, and he kept responding. But listen, Ryan kept reorganising him and helping him, and no, sure, listen, you'd have to be very happy, really.
He'll come on a lot from that, won't he? The education, he'll sharpen up as well.
I say a lot, Kevin, yeah, I'd say a lot. And like, when he was off the bridle that far and kept coming, and like what you said, he still galloped to the board. So it obviously was all greenness, but he will learn a lot, and it should be easy for him between now and then. We won't have to be too hard on him at home, hopefully.
Garden Stakes, isn't it?
I think so, yeah, Garden Stakes 3-year-olds, yeah, that's what we were thinking of.
Thinking now, you always make a plan in advance. This a Ledger horse?
That's what we thought he would be, yeah. We thought that would take him onto the Ledger. So that's obviously if the lads decide to go that far with him. But on pedigree, he's a very well bred horse. His brother Sovereign won the Irish Derby, making all of his very strong gallop over 1.5 miles. So you'd imagine he should get well beyond 1.5 miles.
Don Rising's in the pedigree as well.
He is, absolutely, another brother. Like you said, they do stay very well.
Yeah, an exciting horse, plenty to come. Content obviously steps up and trip. Big ask in the Pretty Polly next round.
Yeah, she's been too keen her last runs. We're going up and trip. We're running her back quick, so she won't get too fresh before her next run. That's why we come back quick. We have earplugs in her. Ryan decided to put them in her this morning, my helper. So it'll be interesting. So he'll ride her patiently and gently, and give her a chance to come home, and ride her to be placed and take everything after that. So it will be interesting, but we're going to learn a lot about her, and she's probably going to learn a lot as well.
A quick word about the Derby tomorrow, Aidan. Obviously this grain, I know it was supposed to stop a couple of hours ago, but obviously the forecast is wrong. Is it going to affect you? It shouldn't affect yours much.
No, it's proper soft ground probably now, and more rain comes, softer it's going to get. Our horse gets the trip, we think, well. He is a Camelot, and he does bend his knee. He won in soft ground in France last year. It was real good ground in Epsom, but we felt from the Dernstown he had to have a run between if he was going to come here, and that's why he went obviously to Epsom, and we rode him forward in Epsom because City was in the race. But we felt that he would get the trip well, and he did. Like, in all fairness to him, I'd say he was probably one of the only few horses ridden that forward, ran that well, you know. So you'd have to say it shouldn't be a disadvantage to him. He's a big hardy fella. Alan rides him out, and Wayne rides him in all his work, and Andrew and Edmund are in charge of him. So everyone seems happy at the moment, so hopefully. You've
a little over 3 lengths to make up at Amby and Friendly. Do you think the Curragh would suit him better than Epsom?
I would think so. As a horse, as an individual, it would. He's a big horse, you know, so Epsom can be tricky. But in all fairness, he did deal with it, and Wayne gave him a very good ride. Like I say, he rode him forward and gave him plenty of time to see the ground in front of him and see what was happening before it happened. So you would imagine the Curragh is probably the fairest track in the world. It's very flat and uncomplicated, and usually the best horse wins here. So hopefully it will suit him, and hopefully he runs well.
And Grosvenor Square, he's an intriguing runner. He won his maiden here. He beat Cambridge on very testing ground back end of the season. We haven't seen him since third in the Chester Vase.
Yeah, we ran him in the Vase, and we held on to him, and we were just trying to see would he be an Epsom horse, and obviously we learned straight away he wasn't, so we decided to give him time, and we decided to ride him more forward. So he's going to go forward tomorrow as well. Declan, I'd imagine, might end up making it. I'd imagine.
New forward?
Yeah, and I'd imagine, because he's straightforward and he gets the trip, I'd imagine Wayne will go forward, and he will do the same on him. So we'll ride him more forward than we did in York or in Chester, and obviously he's bred to get the trip very well as well, so it'll be good for him, and we're going to learn a lot about him as well.
And finally, Aidan, before we let you go, can't help but asking you, how are those two fillies out of Ascot last week? Fairy Godmother and Bedtime Story, they were very good.
Yeah, very happy. Delighted. The lads everyone at home is very happy with them since. I was speaking to MV and the boss and everyone during the week, and I think the lads are thinking of going. She might go to Deauville for the morning.
Fairy Godmother.
Fairy Godmother, yeah. So that's what I think they're thinking at the moment. We'll see how she is, obviously, in the meantime. Aoife rides her out every day, and Yvonne is in charge of her. So if everyone is happy, and we'll see. And then the other filly might go to Leopardstown for the Silver Flash, I think. And she might stay on that 7 furlong route type. So
Debutantes.
Yeah, exactly, on to the Migler and those type of races. So we'll see, I suppose. We'll get them back working and see how they are. But all those races are open to them, and see what happens over the next week or 10 days, really.
They look very special fillies. Fairy Godmother, you know, considering the run she got, she's done it really well to win it, hasn't she? And of course the other filly, 9.5 lengths to win it.
Yeah, absolutely. We were surprised Fairy Godmother got beat the first day. We couldn't believe it, so it just goes to show. But she won nice the next day, not by very far, but won nice, and so we were delighted with that. And obviously Ryan rode her the same way in Ascot as he did the second day at Naas, and this Ginny, what she did was incredible. He was very impressed with her. She took off when he got her organised, and the other filly he rode her uncomplicated, and obviously he got her into gear going past the 3 down to the 2, and then she just took off, really, you know. So obviously a filly with a lot of natural ability. She's a sister to Content, and we trained her very gentle at home because what we knew about Content, we felt that maybe we didn't do a brilliant job with Content, and we thought we might do a better job with her. And listen, at the moment it seems to be paying off. We're just very gentle with her, and let her kind of show us when she has to, rather than going looking every day, you know. So listen, it'll be interesting, so hopefully.
A final question. Auguste Rodin had him back on spot. He doesn't do a whole pile and hits the front, does he?
No, it travels very well. Always did. He was always like that. He pulls up when he gets there. So, but the good thing is you can ride him forward now, and we were probably riding him back too far any day. He ran disappointing, and that was probably my instructions were wrong. He's in great form now. Rachel rode him work this morning, very happy with him. Andrew, everyone seems very happy with him. Davy. So the plan, I think the lads are thinking of going to the King George with him. So if everything is right with him over the next couple of weeks, that's where I think he will go. So yeah, he's a horse to look forward to.
Great stuff as always. Thanks as always, Ed.
Pleasure, Kevin. Thank you.